Welcome again to the big match, and again we can promise you some sparkling action in the next hour from 3 of yesterday's leading games. Our main match is the meeting of West Ham and Manchester City. We shall support that with Derby County against Arsenal, and from the second division there's Hull City against Crystal Palace. In the studio, the Crystal Palace manager, Malcolm Allison, to cast his eyes over the action that you're about to see. Also today, a trip into the past as we look together at some of the marvellous old mementos that you've sent me that make up our big match gallery. But first it's action. For a start, we move off into the early afternoon at Upton Park, and we swing in from the streets of East London into the stadium itself for the first division game between West Ham and Manchester City. They've had some great matches in the past, but now to add an extra touch to this one, there's West Ham's new signing from Norwich, Graham Paddon. Along with his first appearance in a West Ham shirt, we also have the return of Clyde Best to the attack at number 11, with Johnny Erris getting another chance at 7. But West Ham missed the attacking skills of Brian Robson, still injured, but Bobby Gould, another of the club's new signings, is out there looking for goals. Manchester City are a team of great talents, and it's good to see Rodney Marsh in town again. He scored a hat-trick against York in the League Cup in midweek. No surprises here now that goalkeeper Keith McRae has shaken off a bad cold and he's fit. A lot of old friends in opposition out there, among them the two skippers, Bobby Moore of West Ham United and Mike Summerby of Manchester City. The referee today is Ray Toseland from Kettering, and now we wait for him to get the game going. And the crowd at Upton Park this afternoon, just over 20,000.
So West Ham then kick off, attacking the goal to our right. In a certain amount of trouble now, just one off the bottom of the first division. Without a home win this season, it seems incredible. Indeed, only one win all season, and that was at Coventry. Here's Bobby Gould. Played back for McDowell. Billy Bonds. But Donachie getting in and getting it away for Manchester City, who themselves haven't prospered too well in the league this season. Only one win away from home. Stimulated no doubt by the fact that they beat York City 4-1 in the League Cup on Wednesday, where Rodney Marsh got his hat-trick. Mervyn Day, the West Ham goalkeeper, a teenager. Brooking, and nice layoff there to Gould. Trying to get it through to Clyde Best, but Best by no means getting it to Erris. Bonds coming in to retrieve the situation partially, but doing it unfairly with that challenge there on Towers. It looks to me as though Billy Bonds caused a fair bit of damage there, and having a word from the referee, Ray Toseland. Johnny Erris back in the West Ham side again. In fact, it's only his 4th match in the first team this season. Towers all right again. Summerby, oh, that was a furious assault there by Lampard on Summerby. I tend to remember there's been a bit of a feud between these two that's lasted over the last couple of years or so. That really was a rather wild challenge by the West Ham number 3 on Mike Summerby. Here's Summerby again. Marsh. Trying his tricks on Paddon and getting it across there. I think that was just chipped behind, indeed it was, by Mervyn Day, giving another corner to Manchester City. Marsh turning Paddon on that occasion, one way then the other. Certainly if Day hadn't had the confidence that he's shown already in this game, that could well have been a very nasty one indeed for him. But here's Lee with the corner, not very well hit. Lehman hitting it back though, and Taylor getting it away. A bad corner very nearly turned into a most productive one. But now West Ham away again, but Doyle should stop this one. Back to McRae. Marsh and Taylor beneath this one. It's Taylor's header, but he pushed Marsh in the back in order to get it away. Free kick to Manchester City. West Ham wall still not forming itself now. There are 3 in it. Paddon, Brooking and Gould. The referee saying, I want it back 10 yards. And Gould is saying, tell us when we're back 10 yards. It's going to be Lee, a magnificent free kick specialist, and that was no more than a foot wide. But obviously the wall was well placed, and Day was covering his part of the goal as well. Best versus Booth. Looked as though Best was being wrestled by Booth. Free kick, not taken to the right place, or at least Bonds was brought back so that it could be taken to the right place. Moore flicking it forward again, and Billy Bonds had got in, and Bobby Gould, furious with himself, but he made enormous strides there. A skillfully taken free kick there by Bobby Moore, and Bonds getting in when the City least expected it. Got it across the goal, and Gould couldn't quite get the touch. And that would have been a goal that West Ham would badly have wanted to lift their confidence a little. They really do look low on it at the moment, particularly when they're coming forward. They scored only one goal in their last 3 games. Now it's Marsh. Well, there's certainly no lack of confidence there. Now 3 West Ham players swarming around him, but his skipper couldn't keep it in. Moore to Patton. Free kick to West Ham. Sky is very threatening now, the rain beginning to come down as Moore comes forward, finds Brooking, but Brooking plays it straight on now, and Marsh finds Lee, and this could be the first one. He tried a little chip over Day. So alert to the possibilities, Lee, there, but his skill didn't quite go with it on that occasion. Lehman. Back for Doyle. Lee's header. Summerby. Marsh away on the right. Faced by Frank Lampard, number 3. Played there for Bell. Bell trying one of those hard low crosses that he seems to enjoy and which defences don't. Booth, who's come up for just about every dead ball situation so far. So here's the corner, and Lee in so much space, and a goal! Well, Lee opens his arms and says, well, I could hardly believe I'd get that amount of space from a dead ball situation. The corner came over. Just look how much space Lee had. And the header goes in to put Manchester City 1-0 ahead. So 18 minutes gone, Manchester City leading by a goal to 0 through Francis Lee, and that makes Lee's 11th goal of the season, and it really gave the goalkeeper Mervyn Day any chance at all. Now it's Marsh. Lee again, and now it's Summerby. Lee, chipped in again, Taylor got that one away. Bell, touch of arrogance almost there about the little flick of Colin Bell, and City certainly have looked aside full of confidence this afternoon. So much talent in the side, and look as though they're prepared to play it to the full. Bad pass there by McDowell, intercepted by Bell, and West Ham looks stretched again. Lee going in, and Day going down well. McDowell. Gould nodded in, Patton couldn't make a touch to it, and now it's Summerby. City striking with a lot of men forward now. Here's Marsh to Bell, and this could be the second one. No, it was McDowell who got in there just in time to run it back. McDowell, Donaghy straight to Aris. Now it's Graham Patton with Gould in a lot of space over on the left. Still with Patton. Brought down by Donaghy and a free kick. And he's waiting for it to Patton. City are reluctant to let the ball go because they know that West Ham are specialists in quickly taken free kicks. Now Patton, like Francis Lee, hits a tremendous dead ball from this sort of area, but it's Bobby Moore instead. And now it's McDowell. Played towards Moore, who'd stayed up. Now for Brooking. This time it's Moore, still right up there. Waited nicely for Bobby Gould. Across the goal, and Gould sticking out the foot to get that one away. And now Summerby. And Bell and Summerby in a bit of dispute there. I think Bell wanted the ball a lot quicker, and Summerby was arguing, as he so often does. Paddon, Towers going in hard behind him and really with no chance at all of making the right sort of contact with the ball. Referee Toseland right there again. Moore now to Best. Harris under his foot. Somehow symptomatic of the way things are going for West Ham this season. But here's Marsh to Bell, again leading the charge beautifully with Moore, the only man between him, and again Day, a very reliable last line once more. Paddon versus Towers. Towers the stronger man, and a perfectly fair challenge. Lampard for West Ham. To Bonds. McDowell. Getting the cross in, but behind his strikers. But there's Paddon coming through. Now Gould hoping to get in, and a good save there by McRae. Gould, in fact, has shown one or two very good touches so far this afternoon. He got in very bravely there. Moore. It'll be a throw to Manchester City. Just over half an hour gone. West Ham 0, Manchester City 1. The goal, a header from Francis Lee. Here's Marsh. Towers. Lehman beaten there by McDowell, but Towers followed in very quickly. Nice little dink there by Donachie. Marsh now to Lee. Hit again, first time, and again just a fraction too high. Again, Mervyn Day must have just got a fingertip to it, because it's another corner. And all the attacking so far this afternoon has come from the white shirts of Manchester City. Booth again up. Just knocked off the top of Bell's head by McDowell. Donachie turning it back. There's McDowell again saying, well, Donachie, try another one. In comes Bonds. Brooking. Doyle. Well, there was a fair bit of aggression there between Doyle and Brooking. The game is going on, though. Well, at least about 19 of the 22 players on the field were watching the fracas between Doyle and Brooking. Paddon now. Free kick, and quickly taken. Well taken there by Paddon. Spotted that quickly. Now Brooking. Crossed again, but held by McRae. Hasn't done himself too much good there in amongst the press photographers. The game going on still. Paddon. Brooking still off the field. Gould. Paddon again. Gould slipped his man very nicely there. The cross stopped by Bell. It'll be a corner. Brooking all right to come back on again. Number 5, Tommy Taylor, right in the centre of the picture there, right in that Manchester City penalty area for the corner by Trevor Brooking. Hit low again, nodded back once more, and Best, oh, and he almost got that in from a really ridiculous angle there. Best almost found a way through, and now it's Lehman going full pelt the other way. Bonds will claim that he made contact with that ball, but the referee thought otherwise and has given the free kick. Bonds, I think, is arguing with the referee and might well get his name taken. Well, it looks as though, although we can't see the name actually going in the book, I think that's what it looks like. Billy Bonds. And I'm bound to say I think he was a little unfortunate. It seemed to me that he'd made contact with the ball. Certainly wasn't a vicious tackle from behind. So I feel a bit sorry for Billy Bonds there. Towers. Bell. Dinked it again. Lee going in. And now Lehman almost certain to score. Surely no. Stopped by a combination of Bonds and McDowell. And West Ham now can come again after having another hair-raising escape. Brooking down and injured. And the game getting just a little too boisterous now. And referee Ray Tozer, we saw him in fact have such a very good game at Tottenham 2 or 3 weeks ago. Really needs to clamp down on some of this tackling. It does seem ironically to me that the one tackle that he's booked so far, Billy Bonds, was one of the least offensive. Tommy Booth getting a bit of treatment as well. One example there for all youngsters. Wear shin pads. May depend that Trevor Brooking would be, and he's in a fair bit of pain now, but he'd been a darn sight more if he hadn't got a shin pad there. So Brooking a little sore, but going on. In goes Billy Bonds again. Crowd enjoying him winning that one. Lehman inched his way past most of that West Ham defence, and Taylor got it away. Well, to me it seemed to me nonetheless that Brooking fell over Donachie's legs, to be honest, but Donachie goes into the book. And Doyle is having a go at Brooking, saying that Brooking took a dive, and the referee now having a word with Doyle. Oh, Moore giving that away to Marsh. Oh, and what a good save by Mervyn Day. Well, spotty throughout the career of Bobby Moore. Certainly there have been one or two errors in defence like that one. And his young goalkeeper really came to save his embarrassment on that occasion. Brooking again, kept possession remarkably well there. McDowell, Bonds, oh, Towers, that was a late challenge. That's got to be a booking. That's the sort of thing we're trying to get out of the game. Well, Bonds is going in and saying no. But that was way after the ball had gone. And Towers' name must go into the book. So that's 3 name takes. So a free kick to West Ham. McDowell curled towards Clyde Best. Aris couldn't stop it coming through to Lehman. Now it's Bell. Flicked out for Lee. Faced by Tommy Taylor. Still with Lee. The ball was bobbling awkwardly, gave Taylor his chance. Bell almost through. Lampard back to his goalkeeper. Pardo's header. Summerby. Gould. Obstruction there by Summerby, I fancy, on Bobby Gould. Will give West Ham a free kick. On my watch, we are now right at the end of 45 minutes. There is some injury time to be played. Now can West Ham pull back that 1-goal deficit in the last minute of the first half? Best. Played for Lampard. Forward now for Brooking. Is this the chance? And it is! Trevor Brooking! 1-1. Well, when the ball finally came into space to Trevor Brooking, from a very sharp angle indeed, he hit it hard, low and true, and that makes it 1-1. So Trevor Brooking, only his third goal this season, but at such a vital stage of this vital match for West Ham. Best now, can West Ham now get another one? Clyde Best going through? No! What a waste of such a beautiful opening there by Clyde Best. It seemed that within a minute of being a goal down, they could so easily have been a goal up. As the whistle goes for half-time, and the sides are dead level. Trevor Brooking having scored the equaliser for West Ham right on half-time to equalise that free header by Francis Lee that had put Manchester City into the lead. So much more to come on the big match this afternoon, including that fascinating look back at some of the mementos you've sent us. But the half-time score here at Upton Park is West Ham 1, Manchester City 1, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
From the third stroke, it will be 30 seconds to the beginning of part 2.
Welcome back, and I suppose so much of this second half, the quality of it at any rate, depends on the firmness of referee Ray Toaston. Remember, the score stands at 1-1. Manchester City now attacking the goal to our right. A throw to West Ham. Summerby slipping Trevor Brooking there, and it's with Pardo. Towers to Lehman on the far side, but Dow getting in, Donaghy turning it on. Well, I wonder what Ron Green, or rather Ron Saunders there, sitting in the centre, what he thought at half-time, what he said at half-time, and indeed Ron Greenwood, the man with a lot of problems there on the right of the picture. Played this time very well by Clyde Best there for Bobby Moore, and the feet of Doyle were too high, says the referee. Don't like arguing with referees, but I think Doyle's argument had a certain validity, because he said it was Gould who was diving low for that header that caused that particular situation. But the referee has decided it's a free kick. To West Ham, Moore and Padden are behind it once again, and it'll be Graham Padden hit left foot. There was a minor deflection there that might have caused McRae trouble. Bonds to Eris. Almost got it through to Brooking, but it's Towers now instead for Manchester City. Throw to West Ham. Moore, Gould, nice lay-off again for Padden, and Padden has gone past Pardo. That's the cross, and it's a good-looking cross, and it's an own goal by Doyle. Well, it was Padden's brilliant work down the left, and Padden took it beautifully in his stride. the best defender for City, then turns it into his own net to put West Ham into the lead. So the man who put it into his own net, Mike Doyle, but the man who made it for West Ham in his first game for them, Graham Paddon. So West Ham have come back from being a goal down and looking pretty dispirited to being a goal up. A free kick given now to Manchester City though. Well, that's lifted a lot of spirits around Upton Park, which has been pretty much a depressed area this season. Remember, West Ham have not won at home this season. Mind you, they've still got another half an hour to survive today. Four men in that West Ham wall: Bonds, Gould, Paddon and Brooking. Marsh trying to curl one. Oh, and he hit the post. Beautiful free kick there by Marsh. Wide of the wall against the post, and now it's with Lehman. West Ham in a lot of trouble, and he's wide, and it's a goal kick. So after a rather lethargic opening to the second half, the game has sprung to life again. Tremendous free kick there by Marsh, scooped round the wall and against the West Ham post. It's Clyde Best now for West Ham, playing very deep. Moore. And there's Brooking. That's a better ball by Brooking, straight to Eris. Best again. Being pointed out to him by Paddon that there's someone away down the left, but it's Paddon instead who's got possession. Here's the man who was down the left, Lampard. Paddon again. Lampard's cross, and no trouble at all. Gould saying it was shoulder against shoulder. Moore. Brooking losing it, and it's Bell. Handball. You didn't see it, Rodney is saying, and he didn't see it. He was very quick to that, Rodney Marsh, but the referee somehow or other got the right decision. And West Ham bringing their substitute on, Keith Coleman. Trevor Brooking is going off. There goes Brooking, number 10, and Keith Coleman, the fullback from Sunderland, coming on. Now that'll cause a minor rearrangement. Unless Coleman goes straight into the middle of the field. So Bobby Moore is sorting out the way the side have got to play now, under instructions no doubt from Longby. Well, a miscue there by Booth, but it came to no great harm for City. But here's McDowell for West Ham. Played on for Johnny Eris. Only Gould is waiting in the middle, and the long legs of Tommy Booth puts it behind. It'll be Paddon who takes the corner again. Certainly in the second half, the crowd have enjoyed the delicate skills of Graham Paddon. Here he is now with the corner for West Ham. The wind will help the ball into that goal mouth, curling it in once more, but Booth, who gave it away, gets it back, and the header away by Donaghy from Frank Lampard. Paddon again, crossed in once more, Billy Bonds going in there, but again it was Booth who got it away. Now, oh, and Bobby Gould almost made it as well. It came off McRae's feet and was tucked behind again for another corner. So Paddon with another corner. Bobby Gould so unlucky there. Although the chance really was presented by Manchester City. Lee getting it away. And again this game is so delicately balanced. Lee for Manchester City. Bell. That'll be a goal kick. Clyde Best, back for John Eris. Best again, Gould is in the middle. Coleman again has made the sprint, and Best was too casual. Mustn't give the ball away in this particular situation now, with West Ham a few seconds away from a win. Paddon and Lampard taking it up, a beautiful piece of overlapping by him, and that was a handball. No, it's a corner. I thought the referee was saying handball, the linesman was saying handball. That's what the linesman was saying, and I think they might persuade the referee to go and have a word with him. No, they haven't. It's a corner instead. We're well into injury time. It'll be Lampard taking it. Harris back for Lampard. Hit low and Lee away. Only Marsh is up, and it's too late for Manchester City. The whistle has gone, and West Ham have won at home at last. Francis Lee having put Manchester City ahead in the first half. Trevor Brooking, who's gone off now, having equalised just before half-time. And then in the second half, an own goal by Mike Doyle, giving West Ham 2 precious points. So a good first game by Graham Paddon. A lot of savagery in the early part of the game, and indeed early in the second half with the tackling. But a good game with a lot of good attacking, ending up with this final scoreline at Upton Park that reads West Ham United 2, Manchester City 1.
Well, in many ways, I think that's as exciting a game as we've had on the big match all season. But it still remains West Ham just 1 off the bottom of the First Division. And I suppose the big question still in East London is, are they good enough to avoid relegation? Malcolm Allison.
Well, I think they've enough ability to avoid relegation, but they seem to be playing with very little confidence. And their marking is very, very slack. And if it doesn't tighten up, you know, they'll be in trouble. And I'm having the same problems myself.
I know Ron Greenwood was worried about the lack of discipline in the first half.
You see, here's a corner kick, and you see Francis Lee in the arc there, and you see him walk forward. There he is now, he's just jogging in there, and as the corner kick comes across, he's all by himself. He just gets up, and there's plenty of room, and just knocks it right in the top corner of the net. Completely unmarked there. And that's very, very bad. That's very, very bad for West Ham, especially from a corner kick.
Even Bobby Moore made mistakes.
Yeah, Bobby got caught on several occasions, but this is an occasion where you see the ball come to Bobby, and Bobby tries to play it first time inside, and Marsh cuts the ball out completely, and he's completely through. Now, the amazing thing about this is the goalkeeper's already gone out to the touchline for a throw-in, and Marsh has a clear chance, you know, open goal, but Day gets down and makes an excellent save. But this is very, very bad tactics by West Ham. I mean, if the goalkeeper's going to go out to the edge of the box, then he's got to receive the ball. Here's a situation now with McDowell. He tries to play a ball back inside, and this one gets cut out as well. You see Colin Bell come in and cut it out. Did exceptionally well there, Colin Bell. He takes it very, very quickly at the defence, and you see him slip this ball through to Francis Lee, and as Francis is through, there's Day again. He makes another excellent save.
And in fact, Ron Greenwood did sort out things at half-time. They were much better in the second half. Day there, as you said, he really had a tremendous game. Yes,
he's playing exceptionally well these days.
And Graham Paddon, in fact, after a rather tentative first half, really blossomed in the second half, and Bobby Gould showed some good touches as well. But in fact, Manchester City and West Ham, when I see those sort of sides, I always think we're going to see sparkling artistic football. We saw a lot of it. We also saw some bad tackling as well. There were 3 players booked, and as we've done on the programme in the past, I think we ought to investigate those bookings. Mal?
Well, this is a situation where you see Billy Bonds chasing Dennis Lehman here, and this is a tackle from behind, which is a fair tackle from behind. You know, we're getting mixed up, I think, where people are saying that we're not allowed to tackle from behind, but what they mean is we're not allowed to tackle through the back of people. But there you see Bonds has gone underneath Lehman, and he's just touched the ball away in front of Lehman, so this is a fair tackle.
A fair tackle, and it's a bit tough on him being booked, you think?
Yes, I think he's very unfortunate. I think the referee was maybe 30 or 40 yards away and didn't really see exactly what happened.
In a nutshell, it is they must distinguish between kicking from behind and tackling through and tackling from behind.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah. The tackling from behind is fair as long as you play the ball. Here's a situation with Brooking bringing the ball towards Willie Donachie. And Donachie is slightly off balance there and reaches for the ball, but Brooking knocks it away and Brooking falls over Donachie's legs. Now, I think this is a foul, you know, because Brooking's beating with the ball, but it's not an intentional foul in any way. And I think he was rather unfortunate. He got booked here. But I think this may be a follow-up from the other tackles.
Yeah. I think the one that's coming up now, Tony Towers' booking, in all honesty, Malcolm, was the worst of the lot. I think that this thoroughly deserved a booking.
This is a tackle from the back. Now, this is a situation when McDowell plays the ball to Bonds, and you see Towers coming behind Billy Bonds. and he's coming right in the back of him, and he comes through the back of Bonds, and Bonds falls over the top of his leg. You know, it wasn't a really bad clash because I think Bonds sort of avoided him and saw him coming.
And yet Towers must have known as he went in there he was never going to get the ball cleanly, was he?
That is a tackle from the back. That is illegal. But the other one was not. The other one was a tackle from behind.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised to see Billy Bonds there remonstrating with the referee for taking his name.
I think because he avoided the situation. I think that, you know, he avoided making really bad contact with Towers.
Well, they were the unpleasant things that we saw, one or two of the unpleasant things we saw at Upton Park yesterday. There was so much on the good side of the game, which I think we all enjoyed, and I hope you've enjoyed it this afternoon. Let's have some more action now. Our second match today comes from the second division, and indeed it's Malcolm's Crystal Palace and their visit yesterday to Hull City. Palace, remember, are rooted still at the bottom of the second division, so it's Hull against Crystal Palace, a match covered by Anglia Television, the commentators Gerry Harrison, and Palace are in the all-dark strip.
Lord, time to turn with Burnett going for him. Good one for Burnett because he'll get before Taylor. Now Taylor wins. Stephen Deere is coming up there, you see, in the penalty area. There he is. John Kay is up there too, at the back of the penalty area. Deere stays in the goal area. What on earth was the goalkeeper doing? But what a good corner, beautifully driven across by Dennis Burnett, a powerful drive. Stephen Deere just gets his head to it, nobody had a chance, and nobody in this Palace defence moved an inch. Lord. Now, Lord again, Wagstaff going on the left. Free kick. Another blow in the eye for the Londoner, Mark Lindsay. Right, a free kick. Every Palace player between ball and goal. Wagstaff to Kay. Up goes Greenwood. So Greenwood, with the cut and the stitches over his eye, is still capable of getting up in the air, flicking that one on and making it 2-0 for Hull City. Greenwood to Pearson. Banks is going wide of him, but Rogers has suddenly come to life. Banks gets it across well, and Greenwood did well to get it, but couldn't turn it the right angle. But what a good run by Frank Banks. He would have done well even if he hadn't had a player with him, but with Rogers so close to him, that was excellent work to get that crossover. Whittle's worked hard, he's been on his own a lot. Now Lord, with nobody looking for that one, and that was Rogers' responsibility. Lord coming again. Oh, what a good move and a great shot. And we've got to give the credit to goalkeeper Hammond. That was a good save, but Lord working a beautiful movement there. Malcolm Lord. Swindlehurst wins. Cannon straight to Burnett, and a return from Wagstaff, not quite strong enough. Cannon going forward. Deere, an easy one. Galvin with space, and Lord too. Wagstaff. There goes Galvin on the right. Wagstaff still going, and now Lord. That was a good shot. Not too far wide either, but the good work done by Wagstaff, and also good running by Galvin. He took a couple of defenders with him. Pearson picks it up to Wagstaff. Oh, a beautiful shot from Burnett. That deserved it. That deserved a goal. A first-time shot from a cross coming hard at him and beautifully taken, but well blocked by Hammond. But one wonders whether he actually saw much of it. So it's Malcolm Lord to take the corner. Stephen Deere is up there, coming now towards the near post. Up he goes. Oh, that must be another one. The easiest goal that Ken Wagstaff has scored for a long, long time. Well, Wagstaff has got 285 goals in a distinguished career, but I shouldn't think they come a lot simpler than that. A strong challenge as Malcolm Lord's corner came across by Deere and Pearson, and it dropped well for Wagstaff, and away it goes.
Malcolm, you were away looking for players yesterday. That's the first time you've seen it. What's your reaction?
Well, it was 3 bad goals, 2 from corner kicks, 1 from a free kick. And one particular thing that we've been working on for a long time, we've had about 4 goals against us in the same situation as that happened yesterday. Maybe a little bit unfortunate in as much as Derek Jeffries was injured and Keith Wally had to play right full-back. And he got caught in this situation, but very bad marking, very bad.
Where were you yesterday, can you tell us?
I was at Crewe. I went to see Crewe play Doncaster Rovers yesterday. I'm interested in a young player playing for Doncaster Rovers. But it was a bit heavy yesterday, a bit difficult for him.
Yeah. Well, I'm only sorry, Mal, that we had to spoil your Sunday by showing you Hull City 3, Crystal Palace 0. The next appearance for Crystal Palace, incidentally, is for a testimonial for their great old goalkeeper, John Jackson, now with Orient. That's on Tuesday night at Selhurst Park, 7:30, Crystal Palace against Chelsea. Well, now we look back over our shoulders to some of the great names and the great games of the past as we come to your letters. And these are just a few of the great things that you've sent us, which we shall be looking at in detail over the next few weeks. Let's start very topically with something Mr. A. Francis of Erith has sent me. You remember a matter of 14,000 or so at Highbury for a midweek game this week. 71,000 see Highbury Classic. That was in February 1934. That was also in the middle of the week. Mr. Francis said it was one of the happiest days of his life, but then he's a Spurs supporter, and it was Arsenal 1, Spurs 3, Eddie Hapgood there giving away a penalty. We always tend to think of Everton and Liverpool being loggerheads. Mr. Gwynfor Roberts of somewhere in Wales sent me this programme from 1909-10 when overcoats cost a mere 25 bob. But if you were in Liverpool on that day, one programme sufficed, whether you were going to Everton reserves against Whitchurch or Liverpool against Preston North End. That seems a very good idea. One programme for 2 famous clubs. What about that from the First World War? The Chelsea Chronicle from Mr. J.E. Palmer of Mitcham. The thing I liked about it, there's a cry from the heart from the trenches in France on the inside page here, when they were thinking of abolishing football. And, sir, in my opinion, the stopping of football is all tommy rot. Because if they were to stop football, they would make the troops in the trenches downhearted. So I do hope it won't be stopped, just for our sakes that are at the front. From an old supporter, Rifleman W. Richards, play up the boys in blue, good old Chelsea. A lovely cry from the trenches of the First World War. This is the end of the Second World War. Arsenal versus Millwall. And I wonder how many Arsenal fans, it comes from Roger Culf of Shirley, I wonder how many Arsenal fans remember Stanley Matthews in an Arsenal shirt, Corporal Matthews. There he is, playing against Millwall. You've got Flight Lieutenant Ted Drake inside him, Flight Lieutenant Bernard Joy there as well, Sergeant Wally Barnes, and a warning about the air raid shelter. In the event of an air raid warning being received, the police will instruct the referee to stop the game when they deem it necessary, and the players will leave the field. Spectators must take shelter and remain under cover until the all clear has been given. Let's go on a fortnight now. Mr. R. Smith of Crawley has sent me another Arsenal programme. Stanley Matthews isn't there now, but now LAC Stanley Mortensen is there in an Arsenal shirt. The thing I like about it, they had trouble getting teams in those days. Clapton Orient had 2 blokes at outside left, Odell or Liddell, and nobody at outside right, A.N. other. Wartime football at Wembley wasn't too expensive. Here we are, England v Scotland. Mr. D. Leach of Edgware sent me this. England v Scotland, a match played for Mrs. Churchill's Aid to Russia Fund in January 1942. Look how much it cost to go in and see those 2 sides play. 1 and 6pence. In other words, 7.5p. We dropped down to there. We're much nearer the present day, 1956-57 West Ham side. Mr. F. Francis of London E12 has sent us that for the very good reason. We got a fellow there, our friend Malcolm. Do you remember that side, Mal?
Yes, I remember that side, Brian. There's, I think there's 4 managers in that side.
Well, there's one of them here,
Noel Cantwell, manager of
Peterborough. We've got
Franco Farrell, manager of Cardiff.
Franco Farrell.
Malcolm Musgrove, manager of Torquay. And there's John Smith. There he is, John Smith. He's manager of a non-league club now.
Yeah. It's a good old side, Mal.
Not a bad side. That team nearly won the championship.
Yeah. Well, we come now to Crystal Palace, your present club, and they had troubles in 1947 as well. Here we have a match against Northampton Town, but they were a bit short of money, Mal. And the directors, from Mr. Garnham of Sanderstead, who says the directors wish to thank all those spectators attending who paid the threepence extra, which money will be used exclusively for the purchase of new players. Total to date, £714, 4 and threepence. What would you get for that, Mal?
I wouldn't get 2 scouts for that.
I tell you another thing about it. They must have been under a fair bit of stick, because I noticed that the directors here have said, all right, you fans, choose your team. And they left a blank team sheet there with a whole list of the players on the Palace books there on the right-hand side. So obviously they've been under a fair bit of stick. I trust you're not going to do that on the programme next week. What about this, if we can leap to this one now? It's a Charlton programme, 1946 I think it is, a cup tie against Fulham, where the fullback is Croker. It's from Mr. Darrington of Orpington. But the thing that intrigued us was the note on the back. It says, we regret to record that one of our players, Flying Officer E.A. Croker, a younger brother of Peter, our first-team fullback, was badly hurt on Saturday last when the plane he was piloting crashed in Derbyshire. From press reports, it would appear that Ted, forgetting all about his own injuries, said to be 2 broken ankles and other hurts, managed to walk 5 miles in an effort to help save his 2 colleagues whom he'd left near the scene of the wreckage, wrapped in parachutes. Ted Croker, as you know well now, is now Secretary of the Football Association. He got the King's Commendation for bravery for that act. He was telling me the other day when I reminded him that he doesn't let life get him down now. He realises that he's really living on borrowed time. I think you played with him, Mal, didn't you?
Yeah, I played with Ted at Charlton, and actually what happened is they had a plane crash, and he crawled 5 miles on his hands and knees. And I believe at one part of the journey he had to stop. He was freezing cold, and he got in amongst a load of sheep, and they kept him warm for 2 or 3 hours, and then he went on.
There we are. Well, we are turning up all sorts of things week by week in our big match gallery. We shall have some more for you on the programme next Sunday, but I think we ought to have a little more action now. And it's Derby County against Arsenal, a match that was covered by ATV with the commentator Hugh Johns, Derby County in white.
Roger Davis trying to get a turn. McGovern. Now Gemmell. Kelly coming to Gemmell. And they win a corner. Corner 1. By Gemmell off Pat Rice. So we should be looking to see Roy McFarland appear in that goal mouth any minute moment now. There he comes, and John Radford has gone back with him. So the corner kick situation, Hinton. It's a curler, McFarland has scored it! Number 5, Roy McFarland. What a beautifully taken corner. Some criticism has got to be given, I think, to Bob Wilson there for failing to cut that ball out inside his 6 yards box. But it's 1-0 to Derby. The corner kick then, taken by Alan Hinton, curling gorgeously across the face of the goals. Bob Wilson failing to make contact, and McFarland having the easiest job in the world just to bend forward and nod in the first goal of the game. Davis losing to Simpson. Now Kennedy. Webster forcing him backwards. Hector is in. Good tackle by Blockley. Lost it. Hector. McGovern on again. Forcing his way into the box. And now Hinton. What a brave save then from Wilson. From Gemmell. Simpson for Blockley. Kennedy. Ball. Armstrong. Radford. Oh, and McGovern didn't look. Had plenty of time to control that ball before knocking it out. It's Kelly. No problems here for Simpson. He can play it quite comfortably. He could have played to his goalkeeper, goes for Blockley instead.
Rice. Story. Kennedy on for Alan Ball. For Radford, there's a chance here. Oh, and it looks like an own goal. Number 4, Henry Newton, has scored the equaliser. A tragic moment for him. So Henry Newton has scored his first goal in a Derby shirt, and he's sick as a pig about it. 35 minutes into the second half, it's 1-1. The move built up well, and the final ball knocked back from Ball, aimed for Radford. His shot was going wide until Henry Newton got in the way and deflected it into the net.
Well, certainly luck was with London sides yesterday. Arsenal saved by an own goal there. West Ham winning with one. I said at the top of the programme, though, how good it was to see Rodney Marsh in town again, and there were moments yesterday when Rodney lit up an already sparkling day. Like this swerving free kick, for example, from an angle you've not seen before. Round that West Ham wall it goes. Crack against the post. Beautiful skills, and no luck at all there for Rodney Marsh. Indeed, it wasn't his day, because a little later on, he had this little disagreement with the referee when he was given handball. He felt the referee hadn't seen it there. Maybe the referee heard the West Ham player saying handball, and Rodney says, "You didn't see it, ref. You didn't see it, and you can't see it, you can't give it if you don't see it." But the referee came to the right conclusion. We had one or two little moments of magic there from Rodney Marsh. But as we say good afternoon, of course, we must leave you with the goal that gave West Ham their first home win of the season. An own goal, certainly, but made by the fellow having his first game for the club, Graham Padden.
Moore, Gould, nice lay off again for Padden, and Padden has gone past Pardo. That's the cross, and it's a good looking cross, and it's an own goal by